I'm Jamie Firth, lead producer on Hospital Tycoon, coming out on PC in June '07. Tycoon genre has been around for a long time. Occasionally maligned, occasionally loved. I think there's been some good ones, some great ones, and there's probably been some poor ones, but what we wanted to do with the genre is just make it more fun, more accessible, and bring in more of the kind of relationships and stories into it. I mean, Hospital Tycoon has a very, very solid grounding in kind of soap opera. It's very episodic, there's lots of story involved in the game, lots of characters, and you kind of develop this living, breathing soap opera that you have like total control over, so you can make doctors and nurses fight, make them love each other, develop relationships in whichever direction you wanted to develop them. A constant stream of patients with diseases will arrive. You have to make it so that they can be diagnosed, treated and sent packing, having paid their money as soon as possible. The diseases all have different, they're all fictional diseases. They're not realistic. They're all quite wacky diseases. We've got things like light bulbia, where people have been affected by changing light bulbs and they come in kind of electrified. You have to degauze them to cure them. That's a kind of quite simple process, but then later on in the game you reach contagious diseases which actually spread around the hospital. We've got things like lycanthropy, which is a kind of werewolf condition. And then people on top of their condition when they arrive in the hospital will also develop the contagious disease on top, so you've got to cure them of that before you can actually cure the condition that they came into. And obviously as the diseases get more complex, that means that it will cost more money to buy the machines to cure them, but you will get more money from the cure because it'll be a rarer cure. Each disease is kind of diagnosed by your doctors if they're good enough. Some of them will require some research into what the disease is, so they'll be unknown. There'll be patients you can't treat straight away, but in time your doctors will become good enough to recognise the symptoms and actually be able to treat them. The skill as a player is to kind of encourage the doctors to train, encourage the relationships with other people. So, for example, doctors and nurses work quite closely together in the game. They work as a team, so if the relationship between the doctor and the nurse is not good, then they tend to fall out very easily, in which case they don't cure patients so well. If you develop the relationship between the people, then they will work better together and you will cure diseases quicker. Yeah, the hospital layout is set from the beginning, so you have an empty hospital to do with what you wish. You then build an empty room, and then by the pieces of equipment that you put in that room, it will define what that room becomes. So if you put lounges in and TVs, pinball machines, then that will be your staff room, because obviously it's important to rest your doctors working their 80-hour weeks. You will then need a diagnosis room, so you need to put a doctor's workstation in there so that they can work there. Things like surgeries, researches. There's also a training machine in the game which has a kind of huge bank of monitors where the doctor is taught kind of extensive medical practices very, very quickly, and that will increase their ability, which again you have full control over, so you need to kind of monitor all things about your staff. You need to keep an eye on their tiredness so you can rest them. You need to keep an eye on their abilities, which you can improve, and the relationships with other people in the hospital. All of these things will make them work better and will help to make a more efficient hospital. Hospital Tycoon has 3 seasons overall of 4 episodes each. I don't want to give away too much about the stories contained within, but they are all based on, it takes very much the theme of a soap opera. So the first season will have a story running all the way through it and specific characters. Second season the same, third season, and then over the course of the whole story you'll see characters reoccur, come back in later episodes, situations develop between characters, people will go off, come back, in very much the same way they will in a kind of a cheesy American soap opera. So that's Hospital Tycoon. I'm Jamie Firth, lead producer, and it will be with you on PC in June 2007.